Hey everyone, welcome back to VeloView, your home for all things classic cars, automotive history, and deep dive reviews of the machines that defined generations. Today, we're going to travel back to 1970, a golden year for American performance, and take a detailed look at one of the most iconic sports cars ever built, the 1970 Chevrolet Corvette. This model marked a turning point for the Corvette, blending the raw muscle of the 1960s with a touch of refinement that defined the early 1970s. It's a car that captured both beauty and brawn in one unforgettable package, and even after more than 5 decades, it remains a symbol of American automotive passion. The 1970 Corvette belonged to the third generation of Corvettes, known as the C3 series, which ran from 1968 through 1982. This generation took inspiration from the Mako Shark 2 concept car, and that's where it earned its nickname, the Shark. The body was long, low, and wide, with curves that made it look like it was speeding even when parked. The 1970 model refined this already dramatic look with subtle styling updates that made a big difference. The fenders were slightly flared to fit wider tires, giving the car a more aggressive stance. The front grille was blacked out for a sportier look, the rear lights were recessed for a cleaner design, and new side louvers added an extra touch of performance flair. Chevrolet also introduced several new paint colors that perfectly captured the era's bold energy, such as Mulsanne Blue, Donnybrook Green, and Ontario Orange, which have since become collector favorites. Under that long sculpted hood, the 1970 Corvette was a powerhouse. The base engine was a 350 cubic inch small block V8 that made 300 horsepower, already impressive for the time. But what really defined the year was the introduction of the LT1 engine, a high-performance version of the 350 V8 that produced an incredible 370 horsepower. It featured solid lifters, a high-performance camshaft, a forged crankshaft, and a big Holley carburetor. This engine was lighter and revvier than the big blocks, giving the Corvette razor-sharp throttle response and thrilling acceleration. For those who wanted brute force, Chevrolet offered the massive 454 cubic inch LS5 V8, which delivered 390 horsepower and mountains of torque. The LS5 turned the Corvette into a tire-shredding monster capable of brutal straight-line performance, while still maintaining a refined driving character. There were whispers of an even more powerful LS7 engine with 460 horsepower, but it never officially made it into production cars, adding to the model year's mystique. Driving the 1970 Corvette was a full sensory experience. The engine roared to life with a deep, commanding sound, the long hood stretched out before you, and every vibration reminded you that this was a machine built for performance. Thanks to its independent rear suspension and four-wheel disc brakes, the Corvette handled far better than most muscle cars of the era. It cornered with confidence and braked with authority, giving drivers a sense of control that was rare for American performance cars of the time. The steering required muscle, and the ride could be firm, but that only added to the car's raw and connected feel. It was a car that demanded your attention and rewarded skillful driving, delivering a pure, mechanical experience that's nearly impossible to find in today's world of electronics and driver aids. Inside, the 1970 Corvette's cabin was a driver-focused cockpit designed to make you feel like a fighter pilot. The dashboard wrapped around the driver with gauges positioned perfectly in your line of sight. The large speedometer and tachometer sat front and center, while auxiliary gauges lined the center console. The materials were improved from earlier models, with better fit and finish, optional leather seats, and a steering wheel that could tilt and telescope to fit different drivers. Comfort features such as air conditioning, power windows, and an AM/FM stereo made the car suitable for long highway cruises as well as weekend track runs. The seats were low-slung, the visibility was limited by the curvy design, but that was part of the charm. It felt like you were sitting in a true sports car, close to the ground, completely surrounded by power. Performance numbers backed up the Corvette's aggressive looks. Equipped with the LT1 engine and a 4-speed manual transmission, it could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.7 seconds, with a top speed over 140 miles per hour. Those numbers were serious business in 1970, putting the Corvette on par with many European sports cars that cost far more. Meanwhile, the LS5 454 delivered massive torque and effortless acceleration, perfect for those who wanted to feel the surge of power with every press of the throttle. The car's balance of speed, control, and comfort made it one of the most versatile performance cars of its time. You could enjoy it on a twisty back road, a drag strip, or a cross-country road trip. The 1970 Corvette was available as both a coupe and a convertible. The coupe featured the now iconic T-top removable roof panels, allowing drivers to enjoy open-air motoring without giving up the rigidity of a full hardtop. The convertible version offered a more traditional open-road feel, perfect for summer drives with the sound of the engine echoing off the pavement. Both versions carried the same sleek styling and performance potential, making it more about personal preference than performance difference. Production of the 1970 Corvette was lower than usual due to a strike at General Motors, which delayed production and limited the number of cars built. Only around 17,000 Corvettes were produced that year, and just over 1,200 of them came with the LT1 engine, making those models especially desirable today. The combination of rarity, performance, and style has made the 1970 model one of the most collectible C3 Corvettes. The LT1 cars, in particular, are often regarded as the last of the true high-performance small-block Corvettes before emissions laws and the oil crisis of the 1970s began to slow everything down. Today, the 1970 Chevrolet Corvette stands as a testament to an era when cars were built with passion, power, and individuality. It represents the peak of early C3 performance and design, a time before government regulations and market shifts forced automakers to tone down their creations. Every curve, every sound, every detail of this car tells a story of freedom, innovation, and American spirit. It's more than just a machine, it's a piece of living history that continues to excite collectors, enthusiasts, and dreamers around the world. Owning or even driving a 1970 Corvette is like stepping back into a time when cars had soul, when performance was raw and unfiltered, and when design was as much art as engineering. Its legacy is undeniable, and its influence can still be seen in modern Corvettes today. Whether you admire it for its bold design, its powerful engines, or its connection to the golden era of muscle cars, the 1970 Corvette remains an automotive icon that never goes out of style. So that's our deep dive review of the 1970 Chevrolet Corvette, a perfect blend of American muscle and timeless design that still turns heads wherever it goes. If you enjoyed this detailed review and want to see more classic car stories, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow car lovers, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated with everything automotive right here on VeloView. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.